I'm Piper, and welcome to Two Girls, One Electric Car. Oh yeah, we electrify your life with awesome electric vehicle entertainment. And somebody sent me this. What's this, Piper? We're listening to you in an audio podcast format. What are you talking about? So I have this little, it's kind of like a cream jar, but like a big cream jar. You know, the ones that you have to pay more than $250 for because there's a lot of cream, not because it's expensive cream. I don't know how many ounces are in there. It says 5.6 ounces or 160 grams of some type of slime, right? This is it looks like slime. It says dust cleaning gel. So somebody, yes, who listens to our awesome podcast, has decided to send us this because we have an Amazon wishlist. It works, doesn't work, works, doesn't work. I guess it's one link at the time, one click at the time. So I'm gonna do an Amazon store thing like everybody does. That way nobody needs to like click on the Amazon link. But so far, somebody sent this. So thank you to this person. They didn't leave a note or anything like that. Yes.
You know, when it was the time that everybody was making gel and
slime.
they were making slime. Maybe there's teenager that's getting ripped out.
Maybe that's what happened. They finally find a use for slime that is not in 10-year-old girl's hair. So the thing is, this is like a slime. I haven't opened it yet because we're gonna do a little short video on YouTube about this, and it's a slime that is, I guess, yellowish, dark yellow. It looks like honey. Like, you know the honey you leave on the counter and then it crystallizes and then you're like, oh, I need to put it in the microwave so it uncrystallizes to eat it. And then it tastes weird because it's not honey anymore. Well, exactly like that. So you're supposed to take this goo, this like slime thing, and push it on your car, and then it absorbs the dust. And I guess at one point it becomes so dirty that you just throw it away. Yeah, no idea how good this is.
It's more like the vents.
Like the vents. They like put it in the vents and in the, you know, in the cup holder. So it's to go places where usually you cannot go. Don't put this somewhere where you're thinking about. I know you're thinking about it. Keep away from children. Can't eat. Yeah, no, it's not for human consumption. Not washable. So it's not one of these slimes that's washable. It's really you use it and then it's over. Not for oil cleaning. This does not absorb. It just sticks like, I don't know, dust. Yeah, dust and particles. It's a dust and particle holder, and then avoid direct sunlight. It says it's made in China, so you don't no idea what ingredients are in because there is no ingredient. Maybe I should wear gloves to use this. Instructions: taking out with dry hands. This was definitely translated, but with Google, need for a few times. Need a few times. I think you need to like a, you know, a dough, like a pizza dough. You need to and knit it. And then it says press slightly onto the surface you need, and then pull it up slowly. The dust would be carried away. After use, put it back in the jar and store it in a cool and dry place, and until it's not good anymore. So thank you to the person who sent this to us on Two Girls, One Electric Car. Yeah, so happy that you are investing in our awesome channel. And well, I will be using this weird kind of goo thingy in the next video. Yeah, because my Tesla has like no more battery. I think I'm at 54 like 54 kilometers. So I'm gonna need to go charge it sometime soon. So we will be doing that. Thank you to everybody who's here on While You Wait. Because I know you've been patient and you've been amazing. Since I'm alone right now on Two Girls, One Electric Car, because my PA, well, lots of stuff happens with my PA. I'm still testing PAs. Don't worry, we'll get a PA soon enough. Why? Because I got so much things to do that I definitely need a PA. So you will see a PA around at one point when I find one. I'm still in the process of interviewing. So this is just a little bit of like a behind the scene insight for all of my super awesome fans that have been following me for a long time. And if you're new to Two Girls, One Electric Car, well, just ask anybody in the live comment section about the drama that happens on here. I mean, or watch two podcasts previous where I talked about what happened to, well, my previous PAs. I got two. You can see them in the videos. They're there. When I test PAs, usually I put them on the show. Yeah, what? So cool, Piper. So sometimes if I have guests on the podcast, and these guests are actually potential PAs. So be nice with them when they're there or not, you decide. I mean, you can baptize them however you want. So that's for that. Now, for the theme of today, we're talking about the myth of the perfect car. Yeah, why? Because well, I've been like posting and seeing these memes about the perfect girl doesn't exist, and I was like, well, since we have the podcast on electric vehicle, why not do a little bit of a twist on this subject and do the perfect car doesn't exist? Super interesting, super fun. Now, let me go to the live comment section. If you're just tuning in, make sure that you actually go in the live comment section. Yeah, tune into your YouTube, open your Gmail, I don't know, put it in there so you can leave a comment. Yes, because the show is broadcasted live at 12 p.m. from Monday to Friday, Vancouver time, and we do it live so that you can participate in a live action. Yeah, podcast, woohoo! If ever you miss it, there's a podcast playlist that's called While You Wait, for your EV to charge or to get your very first EV, because I don't know, maybe you don't have an EV, maybe you want an EV, it doesn't matter. As long as you're here to be entertained, or as long as you're waiting for something, don't just wait. Put in your AirPods, your headphones, and listen in. Also, make sure you read the comments because it's really fun. There's a lot of great comments that are like appearing on the podcasts, on the shows that we do on here. Some are really factually correct. We got like some chemists, some mechanics, some real people that have real life experiences, but we also have some funny stuff down there. So let me go in the live comment section right here, right now. We have RP who says, see the documentary The Simpsons. Is that a documentary? Is it a documentary? It's a series, right? The Simpsons is like a series, not a... Did they make a documentary about The Simpsons? About the Homer. Okay, so Homer, you're talking about Homer, like the guy in The Simpsons, you know, The Simpsons. The car with everything people want costs $82,000. Is that USD, Canadian, Feng Shui? I don't know. And put the maker out of business. Okay, so that's what happened like in the show, right? I guess that's what happened in the show. The Simpsons. Who watches The Simpsons? Do you watch The Simpsons? I mean, a lot of Americans watch The Simpsons. Let's just do a poll. Do you watch The Simpsons? Do you watch The Simpsons? Are they still airing shows?
I think so.
This is not how you write Simpsons. Like my dyslexia just kicked in all at once. Simpsons. This is so difficult for French people. Okay, here we go. Yes, no.
What?
What? Say what again? Okay, and let me go back. Okay, the poll is up. You go vote. Richard Dick Eckley is there. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Walter Johnson, Pipe Blush. It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday at the time of recording this podcast. So if you are in for a taco, well, go get one. I mean, Taco Tuesday is a thing. You know, a fun side story. I'll get to the podcast in a minute. But at one point, I was so excited to eat so many tacos that I decided to do Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. That lasted like 2 months, and then I was like, I can't eat tacos anymore. Too intense. So I know. It's sad, right? But we know all the taco places in Vancouver now because we tried them all. You know, you don't want to go to the same restaurant like too many times.
It should be Taco Tuesday, but once a month.
It should be Taco Tuesday once a month. That's enough. That's enough. Like, that's really enough. I mean, it's enough. Yeah. Walter Johnson says, the myth of the perfect car. I like Knight Rider. Definitely, I think that's definitely most people's dream cars, and we'll get to that. The perfect car, like the perfect woman, a pipe dream as best. Okay, so meaning it's not true, right? And then Chris Pankage also adds, the Simpsons are clairvoyant. They just make so much stuff up that of course some of the stuff is gonna be right. They're not like mediums or clairvoyants. That does not even exist. It's like, you know that guy, what's his name? Nostradamus. He just wrote a whole bunch of things in a book, and then people are like, yeah, this guy knew. No. It's so vague. Like, okay, go to my older videos, just watch them all and be like, oh, Piper knew the future. It's the same thing. I mean, you can definitely take anything from anybody and just make it into like, whoa, this person knew. Like, literally knew. Oh, sounds like wax on, wax off. Yeah, but this slime thing is definitely like a wax on, wax off type of situation because it's for cleaning. Will Garcia once says Tessa was awesome. She was pretty awesome, right? She was sexy. She was always licking lollipops. I mean, I know you guys like that. And then, well, yeah, she left for her boyfriend. So it's just so cool. I mean, she found the love of her life. during a mushroom trip, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna do all the things I do with me. She can do that with her boyfriend. So it was like the perfect thing. I told her, you should choose your boyfriend. And then, well, she chose the boyfriend, which makes a lot of sense. If you can do that with the love of your life, why would you do it with a side chick like me, Okay. Snoopy says, I still think the first one may have been a guy after all. What? You think like Tessa was a guy? This is so confusing. Okay. No, Tessa was definitely a girl. I can like 99% sure. I mean, there's always 1%, right? You don't know if genetically they might be like hermaphrodite or something like that. So I can't vouch for that. But in every other sense, she was a female. Chemist America Lifestyle, thanks for tuning in. Howie says perfect car needs to be affordable, practical, fun, and holds its price for resale.
Practical car, because 911 for me is really practical.
Yeah, the 911 Porsche is really practical for you, right? Yeah.
The minivan is what's practical?
Yeah, because a minivan is more practical, but is it? Because you don't get chicks with that. The Simpsons are great to watch on the weekend, so I guess some people do still enjoy The Simpsons. Bubs Lightyear, the perfect car would have Piper Blush as a passenger. Hey, I got my driver's license. I can drive. But thank you very much. It's still kind of really sweet. Okay, night midget car? What? King midget car can get up to 40 miles per gallon and was for sale back in the 1960s up to the 1970s. King midget car? What is it? They were allowed to name it like that? Why did they do that? That's so weird. We need more details. Like way more details. Okay. Bam. The myths of the perfect car. Let's ride this baby to town. 1210. Okay. What is the car of your dreams? We all know yours is the Porsche 911, right? Yeah, that's the car of your dreams. What is the car of your dreams? Put it in the comment. Because, I mean, if there is something about a perfect car, we need to start defining what it is. So what is the perfect car for you? Write it in the comment. I mean, I know some people are gonna say like muscle cars. Some other people are probably gonna go really high-end, like McLaren, Ferrari, Rolls-Royce. I mean, my dream car is definitely... Well, dream, it's not a dream. I could have bought it already. It's just that it's gasoline and I don't like gasoline anymore. So I would have definitely like purchased the Rolls-Royce Phantom. Yeah, totally. But the thing is, I mean, I decided to go with my Tesla Model X because the doors open like this. Like Falcon doors. Come on, it's way cooler. And I don't put gas in it, so I don't need to go to the gas station. Plus, well, this is just, okay, the different price point. For sure, different price point. I mean, I have to say, different price point. But that being said, I guess the higher you pay, right, the more you get. So most dream cars are kind of really expensive. Even a Porsche 911 has to be, what, $250,000? $200,000? If you don't take everything. But you take some things.
I think 150 for like the basic Californication.
Okay, 150 basic Californication style. We have Walter Johnson who says a BMW blue 4-door car. Oh, 4-door. You're thinking about literally having kids. Oh, good luck with that. 2-seater cars for $500. This is so weird. Did you have to be a midget to be in that car? Because it's called like the King Midget car. Like okay, it's 1960s, so $500 back then. There is one car for sale, but costs $1 million. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of like really, hypercars or like a super blondie, you know, supercar blondie. That girl. Supercar blondie. She reviews like a whole bunch of supercars, and most of them are very, very expensive. Douglas Dauntless says, I'm gonna try to say that word. Koenigsegg Jesko hypercar. So that's a hypercar. I guess a hypercar must be like a supercar, but that goes in space, right?
This is more like
Bugatti? Oh, okay, more like Bugatti. So like really, really high-end. And then Rose as an EV, yes. Especially, so Jonathan Bravo. Hey, Jonathan Bravo. Bravo! Thank you for being here. The Rolls-Royce Spectre is Rolls-Royce electric vehicle. And I think Supercar Blondie also reviewed it. Maybe, yeah, Jay Leno has a bit of like the biggest car collection. Like one of the biggest, I think. Like he's got almost everything. So definitely I'm gonna wait for the Spectre. But come on, if I get a Rolls Royce, I'm not sure I want electric. I don't know why. It's just because like I want the Phantom. I like the Spectre, but I like the Phantom. I want the Phantom. So if they give me the chassis of the Phantom with electric in it, maybe I'll consider. For now, Elon, you got my money. You got my money. Chris Pankage says she's awesome. Who's awesome? Me, the car? What are we talking about? And then, okay, we're still talking about the King Midget car, which is like, let's change subject because I have no idea what to do with this. The concept of the perfect car, meaning was a bit what I was talking about just in the few earlier seconds. So what is the perfect car for you? Some people are like, oh, you know, it was better in the olden days. We all know somebody who's like super reactionary and he's like, everything was better back then and nothing right now is good. So for them, the perfect car would probably be a car that is not made anymore, that does not have airbags or like that type of car. You know, we did a whole thing about vintage cars and the innovations that we did not take in the 21st century, sorry, because it was too dangerous. So that's definitely a thing. Supercar Blondie is awesome. Yeah, she is, but now, you know, she's a guy now. I mean, have you seen her channel? There's like a Supercar Blondie is like in not even 1/4 of the videos, I think, right now. Okay, maybe 1/4. There's like a whole bunch of other dudes there, which is cool. But I don't know if it's her boyfriend or whatever's happening there. But there must be some like behind story that I don't know. And she reviews like cruises too. That expanded quickly. I can't wait for us to review EV cruises, right? EV cruises. We're getting ready for this. Now the newer model. So for some people, a perfect car would be something, well, of age. So right now, like 2024 or let's say 2025 models that were going to come out soon. Because, well, maybe your perfect car is something that you can actually purchase. It's not really in your dreams. It's not a dream car, like a fantasy car. So that leads us to futuristic cars. Maybe you are like a member of all these weird magazines that do the prototypes and things like that. And you just want a car that flies. Or you want the solar car like the Aptera, which is close to be there, but not yet. So maybe that for you would be your perfect car. It doesn't have to be a brand necessarily. It can also be a concept. You know, that's why this podcast is about talking. So this is doesn't have to be a specific car or a specific type of car. Chris Pankage says, perfect car for me takes no maintenance, zero, no tires, no brake pads. Wow, it needs no refueling, and yet it's still fun to drive. I got the perfect car for you. It's like invisible, right?
It's walking.
It's walking. Yeah, it's walking. It's walking. Well, no tires. I mean, it could be like, you know, these aeronautical cars. So they do like a bit like this, not the spacesuit, but the Iron Man, how they call it. So it's air. There's like a pocket of air. And they push air, and that way they don't have wheels. They just kind of glide. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah, aéroglisseur in French. In English, no idea how it's called. But these types of vehicles already exist, I think, in the army and things like that. And also to go on water. So for these, it's not like a frog car. It's not like a car that goes on land and then on water. But some of them do. I think I saw Mr. Beast review one of them. Yeah, hovercraft. I think it's a hovercraft. Okay, so yeah, it flies, but it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly. It's just over. A hovercraft, like, isn't that like the hoverboard, right? In Back to the Future. In Back to the Future, the hoverboard. But the first one, not the ones that we have now, but that one. Yeah. Okay. It's air. Yeah, it's air. Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So that leads us to our very first point, yes, that we are going to talk about in relation to the perfect vehicle. Yeah. The dream car. What's What's the perfection? What is perfection? I mean, is it even a thing? Can we even be that perfect? So let's talk about it. Because perfection is subjective, right? Maybe beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe what you find is perfect car for somebody's like, this, I can't fit my kids in there. Why would that be the perfect car? I don't bring my kids with me. Well, maybe that's why it's a perfect car. It's a 2-seater and I have 7 kids. So this is perfect. I can't bring them nowhere, so they stay home all the time. I mean, maybe the perfect car for you would have like a place for your dog. You know, some people really like their animals for some weird reason that I cannot comprehend yet. Yes, I might have some tendencies that are not to say on the YouTube podcast. But that being said, is it subjective, or is there really kind of a guide for perfection? I think it's not subjective. I think most of us can agree that, well, most of us with driver's license, okay? If you're just like a person that likes cars but don't have a driver's license, you cannot vote, okay? You can't. You need to drive the freaking car. You can't like be just a person liking cars. If you don't drive the car, you can't vote for the perfect car, because a car is meant to be driven. Okay, that being said, Chemist America Lifestyle says, my perfect transportation is walking, running, or train? Huh. Interesting. Train like the train, right? Okay, yeah.
If you live near,
If you live,
and you go to work with that.
yeah. Because some trains are more like public transport, right? Not all trains are like for long commutes or like to go into travel. Because we have an across Canada train, which is pretty cool. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, subways call it train in some places. There's a Sky Train here in Vancouver, which is kind of like a subway, but it's out. So it says Sky Train. Yeah, it's not an under train, so it's not a subway. For some, I don't know who comes up with these names, but that's just how it is. So I'm thinking of all these points that we need to talk about to define perfection. Reliability, because so far it has been said in the live comment section, and if you're just tuning in, I'm Piper, and you're listening to While You Wait, the podcast that aims to entertain you and maybe wake you up while you wait for your girlfriend to be ready to go out clubbing, or while you wait for your lunch break to be over because, well, you're done eating. So make sure that you tune in at 12 p.m. from Monday to Friday. That is Vancouver time. Oh yeah, on Two Girls, One Electric Car, their YouTube channel. Super easy. So reliable. You want a car that's reliable. Like Chris said, doing like oil changes, maintenance all the time might be a bit, you know, it's costly. It takes you time. You need to like book an appointment. You can't go to work when you book your appointment. On Saturdays, everybody doesn't work, so everybody's there at the same time. It's a bit intense. Then you also want performance. Yeah, because we always want to get there as fast as possible, even though maybe, just maybe, you don't really need to get there as fast as you can. But you want it to do 0 to 60 miles per hour as fast as you can, right? 3 seconds. That'd be like the best.
Maybe it's back from the old days when, you know, we were running.
Oh.
Car. You know, it's really important for us to run fast.
To run faster than the bear. Yeah. So it's still survival instinct, fight or flight.
Even with a car, it's
So even with a car, it's a good sales point if you can go like really fast.
You need to run away from money.
Because for some reason you need to run away from whatever dinosaurs. Yeah, you need to drive away from dinosaurs, just like in Jurassic Park. Same thing. Okay. So to tank, Disneyland has a monorail instead of an elevated train. Yeah, there's monorails, there's train. It's a bit different. Chris Pankage says Florida has Bright Line now from Orlando to Miami. Same company that is putting the rail in from LA to Vegas. LA, except ours is done. Thanks for that, Chris. I mean, this makes sense. Beer can run at 25 miles per hour. That's a good fun fact.
That's a lot.
25 miles per hour. Humans cannot run that fast. No, maybe except Usain Bolt, but that's like on a really short span. So make sure you don't cross bears. Full disclaimer, here in Vancouver, British Columbia, there are bears. So maybe you don't want to do that.
And we sell electric mat.
Oh yeah, this is so weird. Yeah, so people buy electric mats. These are mats that you put like on your patio outdoors so that the bear, when it walks near your door, it gets electrocuted. Why don't... And they run away. Yeah, they don't die. They're just like... It's Pavlov for bear.
Yeah. Run away.
But why would you live somewhere where there's like literally a bear at your door? I don't know. I'm in downtown, so it's not Norvan. I'm good. Now, you want comfort. Everybody wants comfort because, I mean, you need to be a bit comfortable. You need to be able to get in the car, out of the car. You need the seats to be like, oh yeah, this is interesting. What else is comfort? AC. AC is comfort. A car without AC right now in 2024, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. You can't have that. You need AC. Everybody needs AC. You can always open the window, but come on. I mean, with climate change and all of that, you need some type of AC. Then the style. Well, of course, you don't just buy a car because you buy a car. Usually you're going to choose it for the design, the style, the way it looks. I mean, you still want to make a statement. This is like usually a lot more than $15,000 is going to cost you, all up to maybe, I don't know, $50, $60, $100,000 depending on the vehicle. Yes, some are $1 million, but let's not go there. I'm sure most of the people who listen to my podcast don't have $1 million cars. And I respect all of that, but I don't have one either. So that being said, if you have $1 million car and you're listening to my podcast, what are you waiting for? Call me. I want to ride it. We need to test that thing. Okay. But let's go back to the point. And then technology, and that is true. When I bought my Chevy Volt, the second one, there was huge technological upgrades from the Chevy Volt like 2015 to the Chevy Volt 2017. So I upgraded so I would get all of these technological advances. So yes, some people purchase vehicles because they want the latest tech. And I think this is even more valuable if you're thinking about EVs because, well, you get often more range, you get more features like full self-drive or self-drive. And even with gasoline vehicles, you just get more if you get a newer vehicle than an older one. Usually it's going to be park assist, cruise control, of course, is kind of in every car. But all of these extra features that you won't necessarily get from older cars. Or you need to pay a premium on. But I mean, I paid the premium for my Chevy Volt so that it would have like more software inside of it. So that being said, what are you guys thinking? My uncle would have $300,000 cars, way too expensive for just running around. Again, some of this is not expensive as you don't have the money. When running from a bear, you don't need to be the fastest runner, just quicker than the slowest runner. And that was a joke for this podcast. That's true. Just outruns your friends, your wife, your child. I don't know who you outrun, but just outrun them fast. Chemist America Lifestyle says, I don't mind living in a 15-minute neighborhood. You've already living in a 50-mile radius town, but no PUV. I'm not sure what PUV are. PUV. No idea. Okay. That being said, unicorns, are they real? Piper, what are you talking about? Talking about unicorns? Why are you talking about unicorns? Well, you all seen the thumbnail, right? It was a unicorn car. So there's this guy from the very first video we did on this channel, 2 Girl, 1 Electric Car. And this guy, Andrew, when we were at the Tesla Supercharger, he said his car was a unicorn. If you don't believe me, just go click on that video. It's me and Tesla, and we interviewed that guy. And he was saying his car was a unicorn. So if the perfect car exists, is it gonna be called like a unicorn car? Does it have like some mythical, magical features that no other car has? But again, it's a car. So if you buy it from a manufacturer, a dealer, then there's gonna be kind of more like yours. You're not gonna be the only one to own the unicorn. Again, that makes a lot of sense because, like, I mean, who made the unicorn? Unicorn needs parents. It's just not born from nothing, right? So maybe it has a sister, a brother, like an uncle. I don't know how unicorns are made, but do you believe in unicorn cars? So do you believe in the perfect car? The perfect car for you.
You bought the only one.
Oh, you bought the only one like that. Let's do a little poll because there are limited editions, but we're not even talking about limited editions.
Is it a salesman trick?
Do you believe? We say, is it a salesman trick to sell you a unicorn car? Okay, that's what we're doing. Is it a salesman trick to sell you a unicorn car? Salesman. How do you write that? No idea. Okay. More music. Yes. No. Is it a salesman trick to sell you a unicorn car? Okay. Start poll. It's on, people. It's
I
on.
think it is.
You think it is?
I think that the salesman will tell you there's no other diamond like that.
Like that. This is the only one. But because you can always like customize, you can add features, you can bespoke whatever, you can do some of that. But if you're like at the dealership and the car is there, I don't know, like.
When the car arrive at the dealership's gonna try to make it as unique as it is.
Well, of course, because they want to sell it.
And
So it's more cost efficient for the salesman to just take the car that's on the floor and sell it than for you to see the car that's on the floor and be like, I want this, but with other types of seats. Because then they need to make it.
exactly.
Or get it from another dealership. And that costs them more money.
Or something.
Oh, yeah. Because they put a sticker. Or different wheels. But this...
Exactly.
Different wheels. I mean, okay, dealers too, car salesmen are full of scum. Well, Chris Pankich, I think, didn't you work in a garage at one point? Kit car is unique unicorn. Yeah, a kit car, definitely, because you're kind of making it yourself, right? It's a DIY. So kit cars are a bit more different. And then you would have the people that really want to make a car. Like, you know, okay, Fast and Furious style. Like Fast and Furious style. So you take your car, or Need for Speed style. You take your car and you just change everything on it. And then you're like, we don't even know if it's a Volkswagen or a, like, whatever else type of car you did with that car. So that would be a unicorn, right? Because you made it something completely different. But you can't buy that at the dealership. You just can't.
Back in the days, it was mail order.
Mail order?
Yeah, kit car.
Oh, yeah, kit cars.
Or mechanic.
Yeah.
If you own like a Volkswagen Beetle,
Yeah.
there's kit car for you. And
Oh.
you can transform the Beetle into like a Ferrari.
Into...
It's order mail.
So it's mail order. Yeah, it's like mail order bride, but for your car. This is great. When you order, the dealers don't get to add their crap like door guards, alarms, splash guards that are horribly overpriced. That's why they hate ordering. Oh, thank you very much, Chris. See, we told you on the podcast sometimes we have real information, not just fun stuff. We're really good. But if you have your personal experience, make sure that you actually share in the live comment section, because that's what we want. Real people that talk about their real experiences and that all share in there. We have AKA Fumbler who says GTG. Have fun, everyone. Oh, got to go. Okay. Maybe I'll watch from my gas-guzzling Dodge while I drive around. You can just listen, you know. Don't watch while you drive. This is kind of dangerous. We don't support this here. We can't. But that being said, you can always put me on your Bluetooth or on your AirPlay and well, have me in your ears. Ears. That word. Your ears. No H, but I'm French, so everything has a H. Let's do this. Trade-offs of automotive designs. Well, that's the thing. So if you're looking for the perfect car, there's often a trade-off. There's always a compromise. So you want this, you won't get that. You want speed, but you have 7 kids. You won't get it. You'll get a minivan. So what are the types of trade-offs that you need to be aware of? So like I said, every car is a compromise. And this really sucks. So if you have ideas of compromises or things like that, make sure you put it in the live comment section. Tell me what would be a compromise for you. Yeah, minivan is definitely a compromise. I mean, you for life. At least 25 years, and that's if you don't care. So the thing is, though, you have to say that people who have minivans, those men, you know, they're fertile. So they're very manly. That's for sure. More than the guy that has a Ferrari. The guy that has a Ferrari maybe doesn't have balls. Like, where are his kids? You don't know. Maybe it's a woman. But if the guy has a minivan and he has a whole bunch of kids, you know, like, his sperm is working, right? So this, I mean, that's just to reassure all the guys with minivans, you know. I'm watching out for you guys. Douglas Dauntless says 911 Targa 4 GTS is perfection. Okay, so that would be your perfect one. So perfection for you already exists in the real world. So you don't need to imagine it, dream it. It's already there, right? And Chris Pankage says, I hate to break it to the SUV owners, but they are glorified minivans. Actually, okay. I'm gonna fight you on this. You know why? Because one of my friend Helen, she has two kids, two daughters. Hey Helen, if you're watching this. Well, and the thing is, so I was moving and she brought her minivan. And man, there's some space in there. Like, it's crazy. So I have my Tesla Model X, which is pretty spacious. I mean, it has space in it. Plus, it seats 7. So 3 in the far back, 2 and then 2. So it's pretty big. But her minivan, I mean, it was enormous. I was like, I had no words. I was like, this is intense. So as much as I understand that a lot of people say that, yes, families with kids, not like 18, but like a few kids would go for SUVs instead of minivans because it has a bit of a different standing, and there's more SUVs nowadays too. It kind of picked up. It's not a minivan is not an SUV. Like, it isn't. There's really more space in a minivan. Like, really more space in a minivan. I think I could fit like 3 Tesla Model X in her minivan. That's how much space there was. It was a Honda. I don't know which one, but the seats went down. It was flat. Oh, that's a good thing too. It was flat. It was square. It was like a big square. Everything was flattened out. So you could put so much stuff in the Tesla Model X. There's like a bump, and then there's the 2 seats that you can't fit nothing in there. You can't fit boxes, but you don't have the full surface. You don't. So you're just like compromising on this space. So seriously? I fought you on this one. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Minivans are better than SUVs. That's from RP. So again, it depends on what you need. But seriously, if you need space, don't buy SUV. Buy a minivan. Like, minivans are better. You have a company, construction things. You need to put stuff indoors instead of in your pickup. Buy a minivan. This thing is huge. I don't know. I still don't understand. But it's a fact. Chris Pankage says, if the sports is soccer and the utility is a trip to the grocery store, then it's an SUV. But if SUV is used to be 4-wheel drive, you could tow, and it was built like a tank. Well, yeah, it depends, again, on what you are looking for. And then her minivan was gas, did not take up room for the battery. It's true that her minivan was gasoline. Yeah, it was not I don't even know if there are minivans that are EV so far. I've seen some SUVs. I don't even know if we have EV minivans. EV minivans? I don't know. Okay, so trade-offs. Like, trade-offs means a few things. Means you need to make place for something else. So let's say you do have a minivan. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big and it's gonna look big. So you're kind of compromising the style for the space, which makes a lot of sense. I want the car that doesn't rust. Didn't they do that? Didn't they do a car in like plastic polymer type of thing that wouldn't rust? I think there was like the Transport, a really ugly Pontiac minivan. Like in the 80s, they had this trend where they would just do cars that did not rust. Again, I'm not talking about the chassis underneath. I'm talking about the panels. But I think I've seen that. And then Snoopy says stainless steel or aluminum is the way to go for no rust. Indeed. It's everything else around it that's gonna rust. I mean, your wheels, everything is gonna rust because it's metal. Most SUVs are unibody, no frame. Oh, see? Interesting. Dodge Caravan plug-in hybrid van. Okay, so there are hybrids.
There's hybrid. Apparently, they're gonna come out this year with, Volvo's got one.
Oh, Volvo's gonna get. Okay. So everybody is announcing, Volvo, Honda announcing minivans, but right now there's no fully electric minivans. So I guess that's why the Model Y from Tesla is so popular. It's not a minivan, it's more like an SUV, but still has some space for a family. Yeah. I know you're talking about it, soccer mom. Okay, advancement in technology. So this is another very interesting point for trade-offs, meaning that, well, as much as we advance in technology, maybe there's gonna be more quest for like the perfect unicorn car, right? The more technologically advanced it can become, well, the more perfect it's gonna be. But the problem with technology is that it keeps on advancing. So that being said, the car you buy today will not work later on, or it will need software updates. So when does it become obsolete? And if we are going that tech route, that really software oriented route, that means that most vehicles are gonna be obsolete very, very soon. So it's a different way to look at it. But again, companies like BYD are doing retrofitting. So they're thinking that they're gonna switch the batteries in their cars later. So that's gonna like be a thing to keep the chassis or the frame of the car longer. That could be a thing. And then maybe put another computer inside of it. So just swap the computers. Maybe these cars are gonna be more about the future, being a bit more ecological. So you keep the frame for as long as it lasts, and then you just swap up some parts, not like changing your exhaust pipe, but more like changing the brain and changing the battery pack in that way. Because all the other little things, again, on an electric car, there's not much maintenance, or very more little than on a gasoline car. So that could be probably a futuristic point, and that could make it so that the perfect car would have, like we said, almost no maintenance. And if it does, you just go swap parts at the dealership. It kind of comes with, right? So trade-offs that we see with electric vehicles would be, range and charging time. The more range you have, usually the more charging time you need. So maybe, just maybe, sometimes you want more range, but you're going to need to charge more. So that could be a trade-off that has nothing to do with design or style or performance. It just has to do with usability in that way. Piper, I saw a Model X in my town. I knew it was a Model X when you explained the door handle placement. So thank you. See? Good information, good short. So this makes sense. Yeah, just interesting to know, because the Tesla models really all look alike. I mean, the Y and the X look alike, the S and the 3 look alike. They look a lot alike. So I understand why some people get confused. But that's why when you listen to While You Wait, the podcast that entertains you while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge, or while you wait for your meeting to be over. Don't tell your boss you're listening while you're at work, but maybe do if you need to. That being, make your boss subscribe. Why not, huh? Maybe your boss is a cool person. I'm a boss, I'm a cool person. That works. Okay, so what type of trade-offs are we talking about? Meaning performance and efficiency would definitely come like side by side. That would be the balance. So you would need to, trade off some performance for some efficiency, or some efficiency for some performance. Makes sense. Luxury versus affordability. Every time you have something that is more luxurious, it costs more. So where do you stand in there? Like the Rolls Royce is going to cost you maybe $500,000. Not affordable at all. But it doesn't make noise. I mean, I've been in one. It's crazy. Like, you don't even hear the cars next to you. It's kind of dangerous, but in a good way. And then safety versus freedom. So you want more safety, but you don't want a seatbelt. Well, this can be a bit of an issue, right? So these are the types of trade-offs we're talking about to find your perfect car, your dream car. And this is why we're talking about the myth of the perfect car and what makes a car perfect. Is it a dream car? Is it something that exists already? Do you think that dream cars are already among us? Unicorn cars.
Guy, find it.
This guy found his unicorn car. So some people are finding it. Some people are loving it. They have their dream car. Some people have their dream car. Some people have had their dream cars. It has happened to them.
Dream cars because it's a unicorn.
Oh, does it become your dream car because you're the only one to have it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Then you're happy because you're the only one to have it. Maybe it's something about personalization and personification that makes it so awesome. Okay, I need to switch all of this. Bam, bam, bam. A little bit of music. Let's go. Embracing imperfection. Oh, yeah, we're talking about that. No, we're not talking about not wearing makeup. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about embracing imperfection, because some people find beauty in flaws. Okay, and when I say that,
People like skinless cat.
yeah, some people like furless cats, right? They do. Furless pussies. I mean, hairless pussies. So some people like that. Hey, Katrina, what's up? So imperfection can have some charm. Let's say that you are like Jonathan Hive, and like you made the iPod case, right? And then you made it all silver and scratchable so that everybody would own up to their scratches on their iPod. That could be the same thing for your car. Maybe you like your car because it's dented now, so it makes it more unique. Or you change the color on your car, or you change the lights or something like that. So it makes it yours or more yours or an extension of you in that way. That's why some people actually do prefer vintage models, classic cars, antiques, things like that, because there's just less of them still alive in the world. So I guess it makes them more unique, again, more unicorn-ish, and that for them is the perfect car, something that is more rare. Again, that is debatable, and that is why we have the live comment section or the comment section. So just make sure that you literally engage with the podcast. Yeah, write a comment. If your comment is crazy enough, I'll do a short about it. That's how it goes. So some models have just like a whole bunch of characters. Like even like the Volkswagen new Beetle, right? The Beetle had a lot of character. It was different. Even though it was a vehicle that was mass produced, it was still different than most vehicles. Even the Teslas, the first model, well, they look like Teslas. Meaning that if you own one, everybody knew you owned one. And even now with the Cybertrucks, it's so different from anything and everything else that you kind of have a little bit of this unicorn, perfect car type of vibe to it. And I think most of the owners, well, are like bought it for that, right? They were like, yeah.
Even old 911. It
Even-
still look like a 911.
Yeah, even the older 911 Porsche still looks like a 911. So they do change the model and the design a little bit, but not the design, but not as much as to make it something completely different, because it works, right? And even in these like super more expensive brands, they change the models every 10-year-ish. So they upgrade it, but they don't change models every year. It's not the way they do it. And it's little things. So they kind of stay the same. You can still see a Porsche 911 from the 1980s and be like, oh, that's a 911, without even seeing the 911 on the back. Douglas Dauntless says, if I would have asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. That's from Henry Ford.
It's true, I heard that.
You heard that one?
That's the soul. Exactly. Yeah.
Does that make sense? That makes sense.
The joking and for the gambling.
But everybody wants faster horses. Everybody wants faster, right? But then can you handle the fastest? That's another question. David Delgado says Tesla didn't even put Tesla badges on the Cybertruck. They don't need to. It's like Nike removed Nike. Now it's just the switch. Apple removed Macintosh. They removed Apple. It's just the Apple. Like these companies have been there for a while. Tesla, it's not a long time, but it's enough so that Tesla can literally remove Tesla from their vehicles. You'll still notice them. You'll still know it's a Tesla. It's part of like common culture now, or common knowledge that is a Tesla and you don't need anything else. I think that makes a lot of sense. Just like when you see my face, you're like, that's Piper. Yeah, we know. Quirky design. Well, okay, so if we take some cars that have like weird designs, you know, like the PT Cruiser, that was so weird. So some people like that. That's what makes the car perfect for them. It's just the fact that there's everything wrong with it, you know. I'm so unique because I got somebody nobody likes. some people are against, you know, fashion and against things. So there's advertising for them. There's vehicles for people who are against vehicles. I think it's the same thing. And then, well, nostalgia. So maybe you're one of these persons that for them nostalgia is really important, meaning you want one of these cars that brings you memories. Doesn't matter old, new. You want to have something that evokes emotion in you, and that would be the type of person you are, because the human element is really important in these vehicles. Now, most of them we know are mass produced. Not all people can afford a Rolls Royce that is kind of still almost handmade and bespoke. So you need to kind of think about it a bit differently. But there's still some mechanical engineers. There's still like some designers, some craftsmen people that will design the vehicle. Maybe even AI. So I mean, but that being said, when you choose a brand, when you choose a car, there's some people that thought about that car and that did a little bit of the work for you. After that, when you're at the dealer and you want to pimp it, you can definitely do it. You can add like some of these features that are on the list and checkmark them, or when you get it out of the dealership, you can do your own Pimp My Ride and change whatever you want. But I think it's really important to say that like the perfect car would definitely have some type of personification to it. Something that somebody made. It's just like for some people, maybe the perfect car would be, I don't know, Prince's car or James Hetfield's car or somebody like a superstar's car, just because it was a superstar's car, not because it was more performance or not because it's just better range for the EV. So this makes a bit of sense, I believe. And that's why all of these imperfections might make you feel more emotions towards the vehicle and make it so that you just you love it more. Yeah, you and your car have a bond, like Herbie and that guy, and like a Knight Rider and that guy, and like the Batmobile and that Batman guy. So they kind of had the emotional connections there. Their vehicle was something for them, right?
Did Robin drove the Batmobile?
Did Robin drive the Batmobile? I never seen Robin drive the Batmobile. Leave a comment. Tell us, did you see Robin drive the Batmobile? Maybe you needed the Robin-mobile. I mean, in one of the Batmans, Robin has a motorcycle. Yeah. In the ones in the 1990s, he's like a circus kid, and then Batman takes him. The one with Nicole Kidman, I think. And then so Robin has a motorcycle, and then Joker and his Joker car. Monkeys and their monkey cars. So I guess yeah. Everybody. It works. The future of innovation.
Is that the smart?
Is that the smart? That's a good joke. You will have to. The Joker car. Is that the smart? The future of automotive innovation. Well, because we're talking about the perfect car, if your perfect car does not exist, does it mean that it will exist? Are you waiting for the flying car and that would be your perfect car? Because, I mean, so many people told me that they were in the live comment section that they were literally waiting for the Aptera, for the solar car. But what if it never comes? What if these cars that are supposed to come don't? Like the Aptera was cancelled back in a few years ago, and now they're trying to do it again, which seems to be working, but we never know. I mean, maybe your ideal car, your perfect car, doesn't exist. So what are you gonna do about that? You're gonna create it? What's gonna happen with that? Another real interesting point is that, well, if you want the perfect car, it's the right time for you to be alive. Because all of these influencers like Supercar Blondie, all of these other guys that are, well, I know she's a girl, but that are making YouTube videos, that are test driving cars, and that are giving their feedback to these automotive companies. Then if they don't listen to them, that's another problem. But I mean, most YouTubers, most influencers, most people out there are vocalizing their feedback on social media. And that could be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not a social media racist or anything. But the thing is, if all the automakers, they take this feedback into consideration, we will definitely get cars or vehicles that are going to be more targeted towards what people want. And when I say what people want, well, of course, people want BMW type of vehicles. So they want maybe speed, sportiness, and things like that. But still, feedback is possible. You can talk to a big company even if you're a nobody right now. It's possible. So this is a very interesting time to live in. And that, I think, is gonna shape the future of designing your perfect vehicle. So maybe, just maybe, that's what you want to do. Like literally be vocal about your perfect car. That's why we're doing this podcast. So maybe if you're an automaker or you're the CEO of, I don't know, GM, Ford, whatever, well, you can definitely listen to the podcast too. It's open for everybody. Plus it's free. It's on YouTube from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Vancouver time. And it lasts an hour. Some of them were an hour and a half in the previous times. So just tune in whenever you're waiting for somebody or something to happen. That's why it's called While You Wait. Another good point is that, well, this channel is called Two Girls, One Electric Car. Yeah. Meaning that, well, I really truly believe that EVs have changed what we believe is the perfect car nowadays. I mean, EVs were there at the beginning when we actually invented cars, like gasoline vehicles, and then they died off for many reasons that we will talk in a future podcast. But the thing is, electric vehicles now have made it so that some people will have different standards for their cars. I mean, EVs don't make noise, they don't pollute, they have instant torque, they have some features that cannot be unseen. I mean, they just can't. So the perfect car for some people would be EV features with maybe some gasoline car features as well. Some people want an EV that actually makes noise because they like the sound of the noise. Some people want EVs with gears. Not that they're able to do EVs with gears, but just would like the downshift and shift to have more of an action-based type of, well, you know, driving. And that makes a lot of sense. If we have the technology, why not merge them all together to create the perfect car for users right here, right now? We have FSD, we have full self-drive. We will soon have cars that drive themselves and we won't need to drive. But definitely, maybe some people will still want to experience driving. So what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be like typewriters? You're just gonna buy one at the antique shop and set it up in your house? Because a car is a bit more complicated. You can't just like go in the street if it's illegal and start driving it. So will there be places or cities that are going to be like, oh, you can drive old cars here, we allow you to drive, like manually drive the car, it's okay now, which is really interesting. So we have here Chris Pankich, who says, problem is you cannot make a car too good. There is planned to be obsolete and designed to break down over time. This is why dealers, service dep, hate them. They can't make easy money anymore. Well, it's engineering.
The Titanic, it works. You know, the guy that exploded to the bottom of this.
No.
No, the guy that wanted to see the Titanic.
Oh, the guys that wanted to see the Titanic.
The whole time.
Yeah, it worked.
After it's called engineering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, engineering. So yes, obsolescence or obsolete is a thing, but they know how long it's gonna last. The engineers, mechanical engineers, they know how long, or chemical engineers, whatever. They test it so they know how long it's gonna last. Then to create something that lasts longer, it costs a lot more money too. So there is that kind of special threshold. And that's why, well, at one point a plane is just not usable anymore. That's why they verify it and all that. Then they're like, okay, this plane does not go on the road. Same for your car. If your car is older, you still need to go to like this place where they inspect it, and then sometimes they tell you it can't be on the road anymore. It's too dangerous. Again, that's for public safety. Okay, so can sustainability and performance coexist? Well, that's kind of like the question with any EV, right? But just any vehicle. Do you think that at one point we're going to be able to have the perfect match? The perfect match between like electric vehicles and gasoline vehicles, so that everybody's happy, even the ones that don't really want EVs. I mean, EVs brought really cool thing to the table. Again, instant torque, no noise in cities, like big trucks. I can't wait for big trucks to be EV. I know they're a bit more complicated to do as EVs, but if big trucks were EV, imagine how less noise there would be in the cities. It would be crazy. Just the trucks being there, they're so loud. And the refrigeration, like the trucks that have refrigeration in them, like this like generator thing, can we just make some that are like sound no noise? That would be so good. That'd be so good. I definitely want that in the future.
Robo-taxi is the dream.
You think robo-taxi is the dream car? So not having to drive is the dream car.
Having to own, if you own it, you can make money with it.
So not owning a vehicle, for everybody to share vehicles. So it's like public transport, but really reinvented. Yeah. Meaning that robo-taxi would be like the perfect type of. So you would buy one, and 25K, I think they're going to be around in the US. You would buy a robo-taxi, you would use it when you need it, and then when you don't need it, you would just maybe, let's say, not sell it, but kind of make money with it. So it would Uber for you. Well, because it's self-driving, right? So it would just leave and it would work while you are doing something else. So for the people who would have the money to have fleets, or just like a side hustle, like having an Etsy shop, you would buy this vehicle and then you would lend it to people all day. Which makes a lot of sense. RP says, just make EV slowers to make gas drivers more comfortable. I don't think we can regress like that. I think we need to move further away. Like the truck's Jake brake will still make noise. Yes, they will still make noise, but again, I think if we reduce in general the amount of noise, it's just better. It's more comfortable. Even like light pollution, noise pollution, air pollution, all the types of pollutions that are near humans. As much as we can reduce them, we can live just more peacefully, right? Oh yeah. And who wants peace when you got a podcast? That brings you EV entertainment and a lot more awesome things. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Piper, and you can listen in whenever you want because the podcast playlist is always available on the YouTube channel Two Girls One Electric Car. You just click that podcast label, you go underneath there, then you click the playlist. We talked about a whole bunch of subjects, so if there is one that kind of piques your curiosity, well, click on it and let it roll. Let it ride. Just listen to it before you go to sleep while you wait to actually sleep, or while you're taking your shower. You just need to crank up that volume because like these frequencies are weird in the shower. I tried.
There's people like doing politics.
Yeah, Chris is always doing political stuff. Okay, perfect. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, make sure you listen in on all of the previous podcasts.